Hello, my name is Albert Bronswell, and today I'll be showing you how to throw a piece on the wheel. To make this process easier, I will separate it into 7 easy phases: preparing the clay, placing it on the wheel, centering, creating a divot, raising and moving the walls, removing the piece from the wheel, and trimming. Let's get started. Preparing the clay. Preparing your clay is one of the most important parts of throwing, as it sets up the clay for success in the future, much like high school does for its students. After measuring out the piece of clay that you will need for your project, you'll need to cut it in half and look at the folds. Look very closely at air bubbles that could potentially ruin the piece and make the throwing process more difficult. To prevent this from happening, wedging the clay is one of the best ways to remove air bubbles and disperse the moisture inside the clay. Once you've wedged the clay, cut it in half and look at the folds for air bubbles. If there are any left, repeat this process. Otherwise, move on to the next phase, placing it on the wheel. Placing the clay on the wheel is almost like laying the foundation of a building. The clay must be placed firmly to establish a good base. Once the clay is placed on the wheel, well enough to not fall under stress, then you can proceed to the next phase. Centering. Centering will prevent an oblong shape and almost rhythmic pattern that you can feel when molding the clay. To center the clay, you will need to create a tower, then bring it down to a hockey puck. Once it is on the reel and ready to go, connect the base of your hands and begin pushing into the clay. To raise the clay, use the bottom or blade of your hand and close them together, upward gently, but firmly, creating your tower. Once you have your tower, use your left hand as a wall and place it halfway down the tip of the tower against the clay. Using the blade of your right hand, apply pressure down, moving both hands at the same time. Once again, use water. When you centered your piece and created a hockey puck, by moving downward with both hands at the same time, continue to the next phase. Creating a divot. At the hockey puck phase of the piece, connect your thumbs together and press down into the center of the piece, and keep pressing until it feels a good distance away from the top of the wheel. This will be your divot. Once you've created the divot using a little bit less water than you would normally use, continue on to the next phase. Raising and moving the walls. This is where creativity is limitless. At this phase, the piece can become anything you want, from a bowl to a mug or a vase. Here, I will be making a bowl. Instead of raising the walls much higher, like a mug or a vase, I will be making the area on the inside larger and the walls shorter. Here, I will work from the divot and extend the wall of the clay outward from the center. Once the walls and area inside of the piece are at a good length, distance, and thickness, I will stop the wheel, removing the piece from the wheel. To remove the piece, you will have to use a lot of water and a wire tool, or a piece of string. After adding water to the top of the wheel, and not the piece itself, you will place a string, or wire tool, opposite to where you are, at the base of the piece. Then, with gentle but firm force, you will begin pulling onto a bat or smooth surface. This wouldn't be necessary if throwing on a bat, as you could just remove the bat. Trimming. This will be the final thing you will do to the piece before bisque firing it. Here you will place the piece upside down and secure it with clay. Note that this can only be done with a piece that is leather hard. Any more dry than leather hard, and it could be hazardous to inhale because of the dust produced. Once you've completed all the phases, your piece will be done and need to dry out before being bisque fired. Today, I have shown you how to throw a piece on the wheel. Now you can try it out on your own.